Paraket Pashut, Daf Kufay and Gimel, sponsored L'Refuah Shalema for Chaya Rivka Bas Esther. The Gemara stated on the previous summit, our Mishnah holds two people in the city with the same name cannot collect a loan from each other, but can collect from other people. We are not concerned it fell from one Yosef ben Shimon was found by the other. The Gemara brings a brisa that states they cannot collect from other people. The Gemara defines their dispute. Number one, Osios Niknos B'Masira. Tan of our Mishnah holds one can convey the contents of a document by its physical transfer. Therefore, even if a Yosef ben Shimon received it as a gift or a sale, he is entitled to collect the debt with it. Tan of the Brisa does not hold Osios Niknos B'Masira, therefore he has no right to collect. Number two, Behevi Raya. Although both Tanaim agree Osios Niknos B'Masira, perhaps witnesses must testify to the transfer when the holder's name is not on the document. This is a dispute of Abaye and Rava. Abaye holds in a case where the holder's name is not on the document, he must prove he acquired it legally. Rava holds it is not necessary. The proof. A brisa states a brother possessed a loan document of his deceased father, claiming his brothers gave it to him. His brothers claimed he snatched it from them. The brisa concludes the burden of proof is on the brother. Apparently Abaye is correct. A holder of a document not on his name must prove he acquired it legally. Rava disagrees. He holds this applies only to brothers who rationalize their rights to the deceased father's estate. It does not apply generally. The Gemara extends this dispute to two people in the city with the same name. Tanav our Mishnah holds the holder does not need to prove he acquired it legally. He views possession of this document as possession of any other movable property because it is proof the debtor owes the money in the vehicle for its transfer. Tanav the Brisa holds the holder must prove he acquired it legally. It cannot be compared to movable property that has intrinsic value. Document is only a record of a debt. The Gemara brings a second Brisa more lenient than the Mishnah that the two Yosef ben Shimons can collect from each other. They dispute. Tanav our Mishnah holds the borrower can write a loan document without the lender present. After having it written as a borrower, he would use it as a lender. To prevent this, the Tanav the Mishnah prohibits one collecting from the other. Tanav the Brisa holds the lender must be present. He would never permit the borrower to keep it. The Gemara discusses another ruling of the Mishnah. If one finds a receipt for Yosef ben Shimon among his documents, even though he lent money to both, he cannot collect from either. Apparently, this is true only because he found the receipt. However, the Mishnah stated categorically others cannot collect from them even without finding a receipt. Number one, Rabbi Yomi answers the Mishnah's latter case refers to documents that distinguish the two, stating the name of their grandfathers but not the receipt. Therefore, the receipt created the doubt. Number two, Abaye answers it refers to where the two Yosef ben Shimons are lenders. The borrower found the receipt, he paid Yosef ben Shimon, neither can collect. The Gemara concludes the scribe should go back as many generations as necessary to identify them. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. Father on his deathbed stated to his son he was uncertain which debtor repaid his loan. The son cannot collect any debt. The son can collect only the smaller debt from two documents of the same borrower. Rava explains the law of the Mishnah is where the lender stated shtar l'cha biyadi parua. But if he stated chov l'cha biyadi parua, not only does he not pay the larger debt, the borrower owes him nothing. However, if a seller stated sada sheyesh li mechura l'cha, it is not defined as all his fields, even though sada can be a plural reference. The reason: the lender attempts to collect the debt from the borrower. The burden of proof is on him to prove he is entitled to the larger sum. However, the seller is in possession of the sold property. Therefore, the burden of proof is on the buyer to prove what he said. Sada sheyesh li, he included all his fields. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. This Mishnah deals with the laws of a guarantor. Number one who lends because of a guarantor cannot collect from a guarantor. Reb Nachman explains it means not that he can never collect from the guarantor, but must attempt to collect from the borrower first. Number two, the lender stipulated at the time of the loan he reserves the right to collect from either, he can collect from the guarantor. Reb Shimon Gamliel disagrees with the Tanakama. He holds if the borrower has land, even if he stipulated, he must attempt to collect from the borrower first. Number three, if one guarantees a ksuba, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel holds the husband must vow his wife can never benefit from him before he divorces her to prevent them from scheming against the guarantor, remarrying after collecting the ksuba. The Gemara concludes with the dispute between Ameimar and Rav Ashi. Ameimar holds an Arv's obligation is based on Rabbi Yossi's opinion asmachta kanya. Despite that, the guarantor obligates himself, assuming the borrower will not default. The obligation is binding. However, Rabbi Yehuda holds it is not a binding obligation. Consequently, a guarantor's oral commitment must be coupled with a kinyan. Rav Ashi holds a guarantor is different. His satisfaction being recognized as trustworthy creates his obligation instead of a kinyan kesef. In addition, it removes the issue of asmachta. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.